Stand by for action.
splashing it down in rain and it was miserable. But what a day it turned out to be. I took a gamble and I did 2 championship classes. I was in the vets class, which was over 35s, and they did an amateur class as well, amateur championship. So I went in that. That means I could do it, registered for that championship, 30 quid, and 10, whatever, double entry, 10 quid. So that worked out nicely. Had to do 2 practices. As usual, I'm not the quickest in practice or whatever. I just take cruise around, but the track was good, surprisingly good. Anyway, first gate drop of the day was the vets. Got a good start, didn't I, Mrs. Miniane?
Fairly decent.
Yeah. So, but as usual, I'm a bit of a slow starter during the day. Yeah, not just off the gate, but just getting going. I think we had a 10th.
10th in the first one.
10th in the first vets race, but I didn't realise they were going to split it as A's and B's. So they put me in the B group, even though we were still out in the same race, which, as you will see in a minute, worked out as a bit of a result. Because my next race, I had a 7th out of everybody. There was 34, 35 riders on the gate, so that's everybody. And then I had a 9th. Did I have a 9th?
No,
6th in the third one. So I'd have been doing really well in the A's, but obviously they'd already put me in the B's. I think I'm not too sure how it works, but I'll stay in the B's all year now because I've got a lovely trophy. First overall, he disappears from camera angle. Ta-da! It's huge, it's massive, it's nearly as big as me. Mrs. Miniane. Oh, I'm just nearly crashing the car. Anyway, that was the 3 races there. The track was brutal, but obviously I was doing 2 championship classes, so I've done nearly 2 hours worth of hardcore motocross today. And I'm not going to lie, the last block, both the vets race and the amateur championship race, I did feel it, but that's testament to how much I did, because we did a double entry at Warriston at the end of last year. I think I did 1 race at the second class I'd entered. I was knackered, but today did it, breezed it, and in that I had 9th overall in the amateur championship. Where was I in the first race, Mrs. Miniane?
I think you were, might have been 10th or 11th in that one.
10th or 11th in that one.
Yeah.
And there was some fast riders. They were worried about me being blooming fast for that group, and they were going to keep an eye on me. There was some, because that starts, I think, from 16 years of age. So I mean, with the whippersnappers.
Then you went
8th and had an 8th.
and then I think in the final race you were either 10th or 11th.
10th, yeah, 9th, I think.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I got that young kid on the yam towards the end.
Yeah.
And I was just hanging on in that one. I've got to admit, the old arms were feeling it in that one. Everything else though, overall fitness, core fitness, breathing, brilliant. It was just, I think my arms were just feeling it. So, big shout out to Kelly and everybody, all the organisers of that first championship round, because it was miserable in the morning. The track was fantastic. Racing was fantastic. Mrs. Miniane has been fantastic looking after me, because we literally this is how much I would have the vets race, then there was 1 race between that race and then the next championship race. So yeah. I've done 6 races and 2 practices, and I think that I've got 3 or 4 races between me and the amateur one, but really it was, I had 1 race break between the vets and the amateur race, so it was a very full-on race day, hence why I'm doing all the kind of wrap-ups and stuff today, because it was literally coming.
No time to do it as we went through the day.
Clean the bike down, do the chain, goggle prep, blah blah blah. That was a mad thing today. The roost was brutal, and I had various goggles on today, and every race I was suffering with sand getting into them quite badly today.
You had got through 4 sets of goggles.
4 sets of goggles, and I mean the one
broke.
I was pulling the roll-off system, and it was really blurry, and I could hardly see out the one eye. And I thought, why is it not clearing it? And then I realised it was that the amount of muck that was in my eye. So then I was blinking furiously, probably looking like I'd had a stroke if anybody could get quite close to me. Trying desperately to clear my eye for 2 laps. So I did have a lot of vision issues today. But looking forward to next weekend, which will be vets and over 50s, because today's vets started at 35 years of age, I think it was, which is like babbies.
Yeah.
So I feel like one of the oldest in the vets. But it was a brilliant day, so thank you to everybody who's put a tremendous amount of work in for today's racing, because it's been brilliant. Anyway, so you will have just watched loads of videos and music of me riding, blah blah blah, having a whale of a time. The bike is phenomenal. If you watched the videos before, my starts were hit and miss. I'd probably get 1 good start on a day, 2 that weren't so good. I nearly had the whole shot in the amateur championship one. I think I was second into, but most of the time I was in top 5 coming in, and they were full gates today.
Yeah.
So full field of riders, and
It was
we were
all round fairly impressive from a Mrs. Minihane spectator point of view today.
yes, and
It was good to see.
I wasn't bothered about how knackered I was. I just love riding that bike. It's phenomenal. I know it's nice when you get a new shiny new bike, they're always great, but this one is probably one of the best bikes I've ever ridden. I love it to bits, so we're going to have to buy another one as a spare because I like it that much. Anyway, it's goodbye from me. Oh, please like and subscribe if you got this far through the video, because it means a lot to us. And drop some comments. I probably haven't replied to a few just lately because we've come back from Spain.
We've been a little busy.
It's been, work has been through the roof. I'm starting work at 4 in the morning, going till 5 at night. It's crazy hours, and we're just very hard physical labour. As you know, landscape gardening and maintenance and industrial cleaning is what I do, and so we've got a brutal workload at the minute, as well as gymming and stuff like that. Anyway, it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, it's goodbye from me.
Catch you on the next one.